This is Arthur Riley, pastor of Mount Calvary Church. If you found this, it means the rats are back. If they are...
Hello friends. In today's video we're going to talk about the chilling supernatural horror thriller The Confession, a movie originally released in 2025 that has continued to build a spooky following into 2026 with its digital and on-demand release. This psychologically unsettling story blends family drama, dark secrets, and paranormal mystery in a way that keeps viewers on edge from start to finish. In this video, we'll break down the plot, production background, marketing strategy, music and sound design, filming style, release details, and more. And of course, we'll keep things fun by playing a zombies game in the background so you never get bored. If you enjoy deep movie reviews like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Now let's dive into The Confession. The Confession centers on Naomi Riley, played by Italia Ricci, a once successful musician whose life has been upended by the death of her husband. Seeking a fresh start, and haunted by grief and unanswered questions, Naomi moves back into her childhood home with her young son in rural Texas. What should have been a peaceful reset soon turns into a nightmare when she discovers an old cassette tape hidden in the attic. On the tape is a confession recorded by her late father, in which he describes a grisly murder he claims to have committed to protect himself from an undefined, malevolent force. At first, Naomi assumes this confession is the rambling delusion of a disturbed man, but as strange and disturbing behavior begins to manifest in her young son, echoes of the darkness her father spoke of, she starts to fear that something far more sinister has followed her home. Strange occurrences, unsettling signs, and moments that defy explanation begin to pile up, forcing Naomi to confront the possibility that the evil force her father feared is not only real but trying to take hold in her family's life. With the help of an old friend, she sets out to unravel the mystery buried in both the tape and the town's disturbing past, racing against time to break the cycle of darkness before it destroys her son. This haunting narrative blends family trauma with supernatural dread, elevating a simple, old tape trope into a gripping horror mystery where personal history and unspoken sins become the gateway for something truly terrifying. The Confession was written and directed by Will Cannon, a filmmaker known for his work in the supernatural horror genre Demonic. Cannon draws from personal elements and classic horror influences to craft a story that feels both intimate and ominous. Production companies involved include 5x5 Films and 3 Folks Pictures, which focused on blending psychological depth with eerie atmosphere. The film's cast features Italia Ricci as Naomi Riley, with supporting roles from Zachary Golinger, Scott Mechlowitz, Terrence Rosemore, Ali McCulloch, and Justin Matthew Smith, each performer contributing to a tense and layered narrative where nothing is quite as it seems. The creative team aimed to balance heartfelt emotional moments with creeping supernatural horror, using the protagonist's personal grief and fear to fuel the story's increasingly dark twists. Instead of relying solely on traditional jump scares, the production emphasizes slow burn tension and atmospheric dread, letting the story's emotional heart, a mother's fear for her child, intertwine with the horror elements for a more immersive experience. The sound design and score of The Confession play a major role in heightening its unsettling atmosphere. Although specific composer credits are not widely publicized yet, the auditory palette leans into tense ambiances, echoing notes, and sudden silences that mirror Naomi's emotional journey from grief to fear. Quiet moments, such as creaking floors and distant whispers, are juxtaposed with sudden audio swells that grab the audience's attention and deepen the sense of dread. Rather than overwhelming scenes with dramatic orchestration, the soundscape often allows ambient noise to dominate, like wind through old floorboards, static from the tape player, and the unsettling quiet that often precedes a horror beat. This approach effectively amplifies both the internal fear of the characters and the external threat, making every creak and whisper feel significant and unnerving. The marketing campaign for The Confession focused on building suspense and intrigue rather than outright shock value. Promotional teasers highlighted the central mystery, a hidden recording, a father's desperate words, and a son's ominous behavior, inviting audiences to question what's real and what's supernatural. Posters featured haunting imagery of dusty attics, old tapes, and shadowed figures, signaling that this was more than a standard ghost story. Trailers released late in 2025 leaned into both the emotional and terrifying aspects of the film. Naomi's personal loss, eerie hints of the evil force, and unsettling visuals that suggest dark secrets are lurking just beyond the frame. Behind-the-scenes interviews with director Will Cannon discussed his intention to blend real emotional stakes with horror elements, appealing not only to genre fans but also to audiences who appreciate character-driven suspense. Social media buzz and horror sites also amplified the film's appeal, often highlighting key scenes and character reactions that emphasized psychological tension over gore, setting it apart from many other horror releases of the season. The Confession debuted at selected festivals and had earlier screenings in April 2025 before becoming widely available for digital and on-demand release on January 16, 2026 across major platforms, including Quiver distribution. This timing, early in the year, allowed the film to find an audience hungry for horror with emotional depth, making it a popular pick for fans of supernatural suspense on streaming platforms throughout 2026. The film's 1 hour and 27-minute runtime makes it a tight, immersive experience that's easy to catch up with in one sitting. The marketing campaign for The Confession focused on building suspense and intrigue rather than outright shock value. Promotional teasers highlighted the central mystery, a hidden recording, a father's desperate words, and a son's ominous behavior, inviting audiences to question what's real and what's supernatural. Posters featured haunting imagery of dusty attics, old tapes, and shadowed figures, signaling that this was more than a standard ghost story. Trailers released late in 2025 leaned into both the emotional and terrifying aspects of the film. Naomi's personal loss, eerie hints of the evil force, and unsettling visuals that suggest dark secrets are lurking just beyond the frame. Behind-the-scenes interviews with director Will Cannon discussed his intention to blend real emotional stakes with horror elements, appealing not only to genre fans but also to audiences who appreciate character-driven suspense. Social media buzz and horror sites also amplified the film's appeal, often highlighting key scenes and character reactions that emphasized psychological tension over gore, setting it apart from many other horror releases of the season. The Confession was filmed with a focus on intimate, atmospheric settings, primarily interior spaces like Naomi's childhood house, its attic, and other locations that evoke both nostalgia and hidden terror. Cinematography emphasizes shadow, depth, and confined areas, creating visual tension that complements the storyline's psychological horror. Director Will Cannon and cinematographer John W. Rutland used practical lighting and strategic framing to keep viewers inside Naomi's perspective, making ordinary spaces feel eerie and unpredictable. By capturing emotional nuance in close-ups and layering visual clues in the environment, the film blurs the line between memory and menace, enhancing the overall sense of unease. So friends, that was our complete review and breakdown of The Confession 2025-2026, a haunting supernatural thriller that blends family drama, buried secrets, and paranormal dread into a chilling narrative. We talked about its unsettling plot involving a mysterious tape and a mother fighting to protect her son, its thoughtful production choices, mood-driven marketing, atmospheric sound design, immersive filming style, and its digital release on January 16, 2026. If you enjoyed this review and want more deep-dive breakdowns of horror thrillers, emotional dramas, and upcoming films, make sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, and turn on notifications so you never miss another review. And of course, we hope you had fun while we shared this alongside our Zombies game action to keep things lively and entertaining. Stay tuned, keep watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Clapperboard Ghost Man Zombie Fire.